This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with code GOLFSGPN to claim your first time deposit offer plus $250 in bonus cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code GOLFSGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's college football and NFL picks and projections are now live. 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. The SGPN network has launched all 32 of their NFL team previews, and as a bonus episode, we'll include a code word, so stay tuned into every single episode. Submit the 32 code word phrase, and you could be the lucky winner who gets $500 in free NFL future circa bets. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and the SGPN app. Okay. The Wyndham Championship. We are live, the final regular season event of the year. Not going to get too deep into the course because this is a course we see every single year and a course that you and I know very well. It's a course where you want to play out of the fairway, you want to spike with your middle irons and wedges, and you got to be able to putt these tricky Donnie Ross greens. So, let's talk about the top DFS range. Sung Jae, Shane, Billy Horschel, and Si Woo Kim round out this upper range, and it's definitely an interesting range. All four of these guys make a ton of sense. Some of them, excuse me, have better course history than the other, but they all make sense in their own way. Sung Jae Im, he's played here a ton of times. He has not finished worse than 26th, I believe, and 24th, and he's in great form, in great ball striking form. Top 7 and T4 his last 2 starts. Makes a ton of sense. But anytime Sung Jae makes sense, obviously it's a course like this. I can't do it at this price. I think he's a better DFS play than he is a bet because he can surely backdoor a top 8 finish or come out of the gate slow and finish T12, which could be enough. I don't know. Probably not. I would say you're gonna have better options down below because I think Sung Jae will be chalky. $400 less for Shane Lowry makes sense to me. I think his course history is going to wear people off of him because you got Billy Horschel and Si Woo Kim down below who have great course history. If I had to pick one guy in this range, it's going to be Shane Lowry. He's at a fair price and he's got like the worst course history out of the field, but that will mean he's the least owned out of the few. And could Shane Lowry beat these 4 golfers? 110% of the time. Not 100% of the time, 100% he can do that. And if he's the less owned guy, why wouldn't I go to a lesser owned Shane Lowry? Is there a double chance that Si Woo Kim or Billy Horschel or Sung Jae Im beat Shane Lowry? No. And if he's half the ownership of one of those guys, I'm gonna go to Shane Lowry at this price. But Billy and Si Woo make a ton of sense. I would say my second favorite guy in this upper range is Si Woo Kim behind Shane Lowry because he's also got the course history and he's having a great ball striking season. Billy has had one good ball striking start, so I don't really think I want to buy just that one elite start. It doesn't make sense, but he is in as good as form as Billy's going to get at this point of his career. So I get where he's priced where he is, but there's a lot of guys to like below him and at this in this 10K range. So if I had to pick 2 guys up here, it would be Shano and it would be Si Woo Kim. Okay, talk about the 9K range. We have Cameron Young 9.7 down to Minwoo Lee. Top of this 9K range, it's really only one guy at the top. It's Cam Young at 9.7 and Jordan Spieth at 9.5. I think a lot of people are going to go to Brian Harman at 9.3. He's got shaky course history, but he's got great ball striking form, some of the best ball striking form he's shown all season long. And what Brian Harman does really, really well is hit fairways and really good with middle irons and wedges, and he's a great putter. That's exactly what you want to do at Sedgefield Country Club. Now, his course history is spotty. He's got a ton of missed cuts, but he's got a ton of top 6 finishes or 2 top 6 finishes. So you're giving me that high upside. Although he might be a little chalky, I like what we have because this is a pretty weak field for the Wyndham Championship, I would say. And Brian Harmon's one of the few winners up here. So I'm definitely down for some Brian Harman. I really, really do like Cam Young. I don't care what you say. I like Cam Young. Is he going to win the golf tournament? Probably not. Will he finish T3 after probably gagging it? Maybe. And that would be great for DFS at his price of 9.7. So I like Cam Young on a golf course that doesn't exactly scream Cam Young, but he's definitely a solid enough driver of the golf ball. I trust him in club down spots. He's always popular at Harbour Town, even though he played well at Harbour Town last year, except he faded on the weekend, but he was right there going into the weekend. So I like Cam Young in this area of the country. I like Cam Young in North Carolina. Cam Young went to Wake Forest. He's gonna be looked over. No one wants to go to Cam Young, but I'm definitely down for Cam Young at 9.7. Jordan Spieth at 9.5. I don't know how you could trust it all. He's so spotty everywhere. Doesn't have great course history. And then down from David T and Akshay, definitely a question for this bottom 9K range. Both guys are guys that we like to click, and they have young and high ceiling upside. I like Akshay. Akshay's got spotty course history, but a lot of the times he played this event when he was young, when he was an amateur, because he's from Wake Forest, North Carolina, or at least he moved there in his early years to pursue a golf career, and it definitely works. So shout out Akshay's parents. But this is a golf course that screams Akshay Bhatia. Although he is long off the tee, he mints fairways at a high rate, and he's elite with his middle irons and wedges. I love him putting on the Donnie Ross, and I'm a little bit concerned with Davis Thompson. Davis Thompson had his 2 worst ball striking weeks after he won. So is he a one-and-done guy? I'm going to say no. I think he's very talented, but this 9K range bottom, I'm going to go with Akshay, and up top, I like Cam Young. Let's get down to the 8K range. Real quick. Underdog Fantasy just launched Underdog Streaks to hit your first 2 pick'em entries and then go streaking. If you can go on an 11-0 run, you can win 1,000x. Best Ball Mania is live with $15 million in prizes, and they just added another college football best ball contest. You can now use specials and boost on all flex entries. I'm going to be making my Underdog Fantasy picks. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com Wednesday night through Saturday night to see all those picks. Promo code GOLF SGPN. First time deposit offer plus $250 in bonus cash. Okay. And finally, Rhythm. Football season is here, and the college football and NFL models are now live on Rhythm. Create your own winning betting models or let Rhythm do the heavy lifting for you. You decide on what stats matter. Rhythm will build a custom model around that, or you can just let Rhythm predict it. Rhythm uses an AI projections from MIT data scientists. They already have covered NFL Week 1 and college football Week 0. Claim your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right, so let's get into the 8K range. Let's see. 8K range, we have Cam D down to Johnny Vegas. Kind of a big range, so let's go towards the top of this range. Cam D, he makes a ton of sense. He's got decent course history, and don't overthink it. You play Cam D on club down courses. The man who plays out of Sahali knows how to club down and hit fairways. Well, right below him is the absolute course, not the course horse, but the trendy guy of the week, Aaron Rai. Another trendy week for Aaron Rai. So yeah, he does make a ton of sense, and he's going to be chalky. I think he's a better DFS play than bet because I think he's safe to finish inside the top 20. I really do, but I don't know if I want to really put all my eggs in that Aaron Rai basket when I could pivot up to Cam Davis, who's got just as high of a ceiling. And down below them, you got some names that are definitely interesting. Seabez 8-7, I don't really love. Luke Clanton, I definitely don't love. But Keegan Bradley, I definitely don't love. But then this Thomas Dietrich, Maverick McNeely, Nikolai Hogard range, I think is awesome. Thomas Dietrich showed some great things with the approach at the Olympics. And if Thomas Dietrich's hitting his irons well, he can do a lot. He could do a lot. And then Nikolai, we know what his ceiling is. I love Nikolai so much because he's always so underpriced. And he's always so underpriced, and he has as high a ceiling as anyone. Matt McNeely does not have great course history, but he finished T3 at the 3M. I mean, you're still getting a good price on Maverick because there was a few weeks ago where he was priced in the upper 10K range. So if you want anything, you want some Mav, do it. Harris English has made 3 of his last 4 cuts in this event, but he's been really spotty with the ball striking. Tough to trust. Johnny Vegas has been an absolute stripe show from tee to green. I really love what he's doing. He just gained 6.2 on approach, gained 9.3 ball striking. It was his best ball striking effort of the season, and one of his best ball striking efforts, not ever, because Johnny Vegas one time gained 17.2 strokes ball striking at Torrey Pines in 2016. So shout out Johnny V. He should be in line for another good week because he's just simply playing good enough golf. So let's go down to my favorite guys in this 8K range are probably, hold on, let's see. 8K range, my favorite guys are, I like Cam D up top. I like Tommy Dietz in the middle and Nikolai down the bottom. Okay, 7K range. JT Poston 7.9 all the way down to B. Todd. Definitely some interesting names down here. Doing a, I gotta send an emergency text. Doing a pod right now. Okay, so JT Poston down at 8-9 7-9 makes sense. He's got a high ceiling. He's got a win here before, but his incoming form is so tough. The thing with JT Poston is if he's under the radar in chalk, I will go to him. I do, because like getting ahead of JT Poston is one of my favorite things to do, because this is a guy who can pop at literally any time ever. So Posty, I don't mind at all. Depending on the ownership. If he's like 12% or higher, pass. Kurt K at 7-9. T6 to 3M Open, a very quiet T6 to the 3M Open. Hit the ball really well. He needs those FedEx Cup points. I think he's just outside the top 70. EVR at 7-8, finished 17th at the Olympics. Doesn't have the greatest course history here. I think he's gonna have his best week of course history. Beat that T37, because he's just been hitting the ball really well. I want to see what he did at the Olympics in terms of strokes gained. He gained 5 on approach. Now he's gained 5 on approach in 2 of his last 3 starts. So EVR down. Keith Mitchell at 7-8. I think he'll get overlooked because he squeezed it around that Eric Cole name, because Eric Cole will be popular. Makes a ton of sense. Keith Mitchell is such a loser, but I like the approach that he's shown this year, and I trust him to hit fairways. He bounced back on approach, but he's so unserious as a golfer. If Keith Mitchell's under 10%, he will be a lineup lock for me. Middle of the 7K range, we got some interesting names. Ryan Fox, Will Zalatoris, Denny McCarthy, Nick Dunn, Steven Yeager, Taylor Moore, Adams mentioned. There's a lot. Lucas Glover. All of those names can make noise. So Will Zalatoris, he doesn't have the course history. It doesn't make sense for Will Zalatoris, so I'm really interested to see how he'll play. I'd probably take a back seat to it, but I love what he did in round 1 at the Travelers. That's something. Danny McCarthy, 7-5. A course that he missed his last 2 cuts, but before that it was T15, T9, T22. If there's a course for Denny McCarthy, short Bermuda, it's definitely here. Driving accuracy is important. I like Denny. Nick Dunlap, too much nuance around these greens. Pass. Yeager, T14 and T13, his last 2 trips here. And he showed some good signs at the Olympics. So, and this is a course that requires course history. Yeager posted his best ball striking week since the Travelers and one of his best ball striking weeks of the season. He actually ball struck it better than he did at his win at Houston in his week at the Olympics. So definitely down for some Stephan Yeager in the middle of 7K range. T Moore 7-5. You don't overthink it. You play Taylor Moore in red states. You play Taylor Moore on Donald Ross. T5, T22 in his last 2 trips. T12 in his last start at 3M Open. So he's showing some good signs. Down at the bottom of the 7K range, we got Adams Fenton, a golfer who makes sense on a course like this. Finished T7 last year. He's going to hit a ton of fairways. He's great with his middle irons and wedges. Lucas Glover, a winner here last year. And this is a golf course where you have to hit fairways. You have to hit your middle irons great. And that's exactly what Lucas Glover does well. I worry that his form is nowhere near as good enough to contend than it was last year. Down on the bottom of the 7K range, Ben Griffin, Doug Gim, JJ Spawn, Michael Thorbjornsen all can make noise in their own way. Doug Gim had a great start at the Open, kind of faded on the weekend. Cooch played really well, but I'm going to take a backseat to Cooch. JJ Spawn, absolutely striping the irons, one of the best iron forms of anyone in this field, and does not have the best course history. I think that changes. Michael Thorbjornsen, 7-2. Why is he $1,600 less than Luke Clanton? You play Mike Thorbjornsen on golf courses in which you would think you play Colin Morikawa. That take derives from Ludwig Aubert playing really good on club down courses and Colin Morikawa playing really good on big golf courses. You would think it'd be the other way around. And I think the same way about Michael Thorbjornsen. His best results have been on short positional tracks, easier tracks, birdie fest. So I like Mike T. Down at the bottom of the 7K range, Victor Perez is going to be a little bit chalky because he finished T4 at the Olympics. So if you watched us last week, you knew how high I was in Victor Perez. A little bit of a victory lap there. Seamus Power, this is a golf course that he's played well. He's made his last 3 cuts, and he's just being so steady this season, making cuts, gaining with the approach, like Seamus, always on a golf course like this. BSB Novak coming in with his best approach week of his career or best ball striking week of his career. He's gotten eviscerated by these greens, so that's surely a worry. But at 7-1, you're getting a lot of upside. You're also getting a lot of upside with Austin Eckroat, Mac Meisner, and Alex Smalley down here. Alex Smalley is coming in with the best ball striking week of his career, the third best ball striking week of his season. No, sorry. The third best ball striking week of his career, the best ball striking week of his season last week at the 3M Open. And this is his home course. He's made 2 of 3 cuts here, T13 and 22. Alex Smalley needs it bad. So I'm definitely down for some Smalley at his price, 7-1. All right, 6K range. Not going to go too deep into the 6K range because there's some names at 7K too. B. Todd, Emiliano Grillo, CT Pan. They're going to be chalky. Grillo and CT Pan will be chalky. I would pivot up to B. Todd, finish T7, T36, T10 his last 3 trips here. And he had one of his best approach weeks of his season. You play B. Todd on club down golf courses. 6K range, not going to go too deep into the 6K range because we have a show on that coming tomorrow. But at 6'9", I don't mind at all. Ben Cole's driving accuracy, savant, 2 made cuts in his last 2 starts. Also, Daniel Berger, he is rates out really well in these iron buckets, and he's due for just something to happen well. He's been playing so bad. He was like in the 10K range at the Baked Isco a few weeks ago, and now he's all the way down to 6'8", buying him at his absolute low of low. He loves Bermuda. This is a spot for Daniel Berger to play well. Bottom of the 6K range, anyone I like. Ryan Moore might be a little chalky. Guy who needs this type of course. In 2022, he was in the third to last group on the weekend or something, and then faded. But there's a course where he will hit every fairway, and he's really, really good with his middle irons and wedges. So that's a 6K range. Going to have a much deeper dive on the 6K range tomorrow afternoon. I'll have the entire field. I've been doing solid in the 6K range, so definitely tune in to that show. A quick one today. Just wanted to hop on quick. Last event of the season. That's a DFS preview. Any questions, you know where to find me. I will catch you guys tomorrow afternoon with the 6K DFS darlings and the cannons, and then Wednesday night with the final thoughts. So peace out. Any questions, you know where to find me.